So in this segment, we're going to be talking about the Tories failing to defend, voting for the Northern Ireland Protocol and failing to kind of push the idea that scrapping it is the right thing to do. It doesn't make sense for a lot of reasons. So we'll cut to Dominic Raab first.
Unlocking the problems with the Northern Ireland Protocol.
Unlocking the problems with the Northern Ireland Protocol. You sound as if this is something that you've got no control over. This Northern Ireland Protocol was what you imposed.
Which is true. They did impose it because this is what they wanted. This was the only way they could get Brexit done, so they sacrificed Northern Ireland. And now they're like, actually, we want Northern Ireland to come back with us, and we'll there'll be no trade border. It makes no sense.
Well, we must see it now fixed. The government is committed to.
They talk about committed to fixing it. They don't explain how they're going to fix it. There's no actual decent fix for the Northern Ireland Protocol because you can't fix it. That's the problem. Unless, of course, you get an SPS agreement with the EU, but then that doesn't fix the problem. It just reduces the burden massively. There will still be a border in the Irish Sea, and the problem is the DUP want to get rid of the trade border in the Irish Sea. So you can't negotiate with that. We got to another minister who absolutely face plants here as well.
Well, that's been government policy for a while now.
But we hear from
government policy being triggering Article 16.
Our Ireland correspondent, of the 90 people just elected to the Assembly, 54 of them are in favour of the protocol in some form. So
the vast majority of the MLAs support the protocol. Awkward.
You'll be going against the will of those that have just been elected.
Well, I didn't say that we were definitely doing that. I said it was on the table as a potential option. What our go-to begin with is to negotiate with the EU and try and resolve this problem and find a workable solution.
Yeah, but as I've just made the point, up to almost 2/3 of those that have just been elected want the protocol to remain in some form.
Well, yes, that doesn't mean scrapping the protocol, finding a solution. We are negotiating with the EU to find a workable solution. That is our primary objective. However, should that not work, we would explore all options because our goal here is to ensure we have a working and functioning executive in Northern Ireland for the people of Northern Ireland.
Even if that was against the will of those that have just been elected?
Well, as I've said multiple times here, we will not have a functioning executive unless we can resolve this problem. But
the issue is that the vast majority of MLAs were elected. They were tolerant or supportive of the protocol. So how can the DUP argue they are fulfilling the democratic will of the people in Northern Ireland by not taking their seats and allowing the executive to work? It doesn't make sense, does it? They're going against the will of the people in Northern Ireland.
I think what we need to be doing is negotiating, trying to find a tangible solution.
You're not going to find it, mate, because you don't know how to. We've spoken previously. There is a bit here, right, about a trusted trader scheme. So what the trusted trader scheme was, the idea is companies that trade on both sides of the border effectively can get a green lane, so they'll get an easier time exporting stuff to Northern Ireland because the EU are fairly happy that those goods would stay in Northern Ireland. The problem was, according to an agreement by both sides in December 2020, those companies who operated on both sides of the Irish Sea and who shipped not at-risk goods from GB to NI would be facilitated by a trader scheme, the UKTS, and called Trusted Traders, right? And this is something Frost has talked about for months. He talked about months, we need a trusted trader scheme. Well, the EU were going to allow one, but it went wrong. Why? In June 2021, the UK unilaterally extended this scheme to companies that were only established in GB and changed various criteria so more companies could avail of the scheme than originally agreed. So we had a trusted trader scheme in place. It was going to be implemented. Then the UK started changing it and the EU were like, actually, we're not going to do this then. And then Lord Frost moaned about it for ages, but he missed that crucial bit in the second paragraph that's highlighted in green. That's why negotiate solution with Great Britain won't work, and that's something I'll talk about in a separate video. We go to Connor Burns, who is a clown, as people point out, and this is genuinely painful.
Under the provision, hang on. Under the provisions of Article 16, it says that either side can unilaterally take safeguarding measures if that's necessary, if there's societal interruption. You can't get more societal interruption than not being able to form a government in Northern Ireland. But
the problem is, under Article 16, you're going to have to specifically say which bits of the protocol you're going to, what kind of checks you're going to suspend specifically to get over the issue and how it would work. The DUP won't go back to Stormont unless the Northern Ireland Protocol was scrapped completely. How do you solve that? You can't.
The other point is that under Article 13.8, the protocol envisages the protocol being updated, renegotiated, or indeed even completely replaced by a new agreement. What we are trying to say to the EU is that Vice President Sefcovic's mandate needs to be broadened.
The problem is, right, he's not 100% wrong in this. It says, you know, this is Article 13, paragraph 8. Any subsequent agreement between the Union and the United Kingdom shall indicate the parts of this protocol which it supersedes once a subsequent agreement between the Union and the United Kingdom becomes applicable after the entry into force of the withdrawal agreement. This protocol shall then, from the date of application of such subsequent agreement, in accordance with the provisions of that agreement setting out the effect, blah, 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 very fancy words for saying if another agreement comes into place, it's going to state which parts of the Northern Ireland Protocol it supersedes. And that's okay, that's fine. The problem is, as he pointed out, Maroš Šefčovič does not have a mandate to change the protocol. And in reality, neither does the British government, because the British government ran an election based on the Northern Ireland Protocol, right? So how does the British government have a mandate to change or scrap the protocol since they won an election on it? They would have to get a fresh mandate from the people. Just like Šefčovič would have to get a fresh mandate from the EU Parliament to scrap the protocol. They would also need backing of the EU member states as well, you know, the individual leaders. It's not going to happen. So his arguments here are ridiculous, arguing that Šefčovič needs to get a new mandate. It would have to go through another kind of election process, which wouldn't make sense. You know, if anything, the UK would have an easier time. The UK doesn't have a mandate to scrap the protocol. So we're going to leave it here. These guys failed to defend their own arguments. There's a lot on the Northern Ireland Protocol that's coming out over the next couple of days / week. You know, you can see how many tabs I've got open on my computer. It's madness. But anyways, let me know what you think in the comments below. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Support the channel on Patreon if you can. And hopefully I'll see you in the next one.